Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishna here. Basically, we are discussing one of the topic that is city creation. In city creation, basically, we are discussing the topic of future creation. So, one of the person told that Sunil Nair basically not got the house basically in Mumbai city. Reason they are telling that Sunil Nair expense is too much basically. Sunil Nair expense is too much. So Mumbai told that basically we calculated that Sunil Nair expense is too much basically. Then basically one of the satellite person told that Sunil basically can you please calculate the expense of Mumbai city. Then he started calculating the Mumbai city. 1,000 crore of missiles. Then basically sea basically contains 1 lakh missiles. 1 lakh kilometer area is the sea water. There basically 1 lakh missiles basically are dumped. One missile cost basically is 1,000 crore. Then basically the R&D purpose, for R&D purpose basically they are spending thousands of crore. Then basically they told that more than 1 lakh marriages happen basically in Mumbai city. Then basically then human souls basically are getting dumped into the Mumbai city, more than 1 lakh per day. Will is basically the expenses of 90,000 crore. These all basically expenses started calculating basically one of the person basically. Reason one of the Mumbai city told that basically we can't give you the job because तेरा खर्चा बहुत है भाई. So satellite person basically listened. They basically got this information that Sunil का खर्चा बहुत है. That he was basically Sanskrit person basically in satellite. He basically got the information that Sunil का खर्चा बहुत है in Mumbai. They basically got the information that Sunil expense is too much basically. So we can't basically give home to him in Mumbai basically, because they are telling that if you will give home to Mumbai, sorry, home Sunila Nair to in Mumbai basically, that means home in Mumbai basically, then he will spoil the Mumbai city basically. See basically. So one person basically is trying to get the job, trying to get the marriage of second marriage, then trying to earn the money, and these groups are basically telling that you will basically spoil the Mumbai city basically. So we can't give you the house basically. Like this, they taken the decision also basically. Like Siddhi Vinayak Temple Group, Mumbra Devi Temple Group basically, they started taking the decision basically. Sorry, we can't give you the house basically. Like this way, they taken the decision, and then we have basically not given the house basically to Mumbai city basically. Sorry, not given house to Sunil R. Nair basically in Mumbai. Reason, Mumbai basically is telling that Mumbai groups are telling that basically their your expense is too much basically. When basically the satellite group basically calculated Sunil R. Nair expenses was nothing basically in front of the Mumbai city. Per day Mumbai city expenses what basically? More than 90,000 crore. More than 90,000 crore is the expense of Mumbai city. So he basically, one of the satellite person told that, do you know Sunil R. Nair basically who are the group basically who are basically calculating each and every individual person's expenses basically. Then he told them basically the IITs, IIM groups and MBA group basically. See that basically we are calculating. MBA means high level basically educated people basically. They calculate. They basically merge with the businessman and then basically with the government, and they basically calculates the Mumbai city each and every person's expenses basically. So they calculate the expenses basically. So they found that basically Sunil Nair expense is too much basically. So Sunil R. Nair basically was eating vada pav. That was basically too much expense. Sunil R. Nair was just eating roti chapati basically, roti and sabji basically. That was too much expense basically. That was too much. This group basically told that basically your expense is too much basically. So eating roti, eating chapati, eating vada pav, these all are too much expense basically. And see the Mumbai City Express. 90,000 crore per day basically. And Sunil Rana is basically eating vada pav and rotis basically and sabjis. So that expense is too much basically. So just see basically. So which kind of data basically they are calculating? One of the person asked the question that also basically. Which kind of data basically they are providing basically. And what information basically they are getting basically. The Sunil Arnar basically is eating basically Taj restaurant hotel basically. He is eating basically from Oberoi. He is eating from Prince Hotel basically. So that kind of information they might have got basically. But Sunil Arna basically is eating vada pav basically. Was eating vada pav in breakfast and eating lunch. Sometime basically not lunch also basically. That also roti chapati. So this whole expense basically are too much expense basically for Mumbai city basically. So you can just imagine basically. And Mumbai city expense, see, to secure Mumbai city, somebody is doing so much expense basically. He is doing per day 90,000 crore expense basically. That is basically for public basically. But rest of thing expense are too much basically. Sea water there, 1 lakh kilometer sea water is there. That basically they are maintaining the sea water. That also 1 lakh missile basically are there dumping to the 1 lakh sea water, 1 lakh kilometer sea water. So these all expenses are nothing basically. This whole expense basically the MBA group, IIT groups and IM group basically they don't see that this whole expense basically. They basically saw that vada pav eating basically is too much expense basically. And roti chapati and roti sabji and chapati basically it is eating his expense is too much basically. But this expense is nothing basically. That means this expense they can afford, but Sunila Nair expense basically they can't afford basically. So see basically. This was actually one of the person told that it was actually partiality basically. Somebody has done the partiality. What partiality that basically I don't know. That means one of the person told that tune where basically you have done the study basically. Their group basically might have done the partiality that don't give the job to Sunila Nair. That is also possible basically. So anything is possible basically. That group basically might have told that basically that don't give the job to Sunila Nair. That possibilities are there. So you can't say the 100% reason basically. Because in Mumbai city basically more than 7 crore people are staying and each and every possibility is basically to take that. Here basically just taking as an example basically. Entire 7 crore people basically don't take the decision. Few management people basically takes the decision that Sunila Nair is not supposed to get the job. And that is connecting to the 7 crore population directly basically. 7 crore population blood cells directly basically. That 7 crore blood cells are like this and they will take this type of decision only basically. They take this type of decision only. So this expenses, this all expense basically comparing with the Sunila Nair expense. So you can just imagine basically. So like this basically, the person's next generation will go, the person's next generation will not go. That basically are decided by the IITs, IIMs and MBA group basically. You can just imagine basically. And that they decide on the basis of their expense basically. So Sunila Nair expense was too much basically. So they basically told that basically we can't basically afford your expense. So we basically can't afford your next generation also. That also basically few people told. Because not marriage not happened, that means next generation basically will not go. That decision also they have taken.